Right now on KGW News at noon, after a month-long investigation in Scappoose, a determination of natural death turned into a homicide arrest. What new court documents tell us, plus.
Just unfortunately, this is one of those really terrible scenarios where somebody, took advantage of that safety.
A shocking incident out of Southeast Portland as a man broke into an apartment and assaulted a woman while she was sleeping. We have the details on that. And later, On Point Community Credit Union opening their second downtown Portland branch. How that signals a return of prosperity in the downtown area. Your news at noon starts right now. Thanks for joining us. I'm China Green. Developing this afternoon, police in Scappoose arrested two people accused of abusing and killing someone under their care last month. Officers responded to a home on March 9th after a call came in about an adult death. Investigators initially thought the person died of natural causes, but later determined they were killed. 63-year-old Catherine Ann Reyna and 31-year-old Hillary Claire Murphy were indicted on multiple charges, including first-degree murder. In their indictments, both are accused of killing Benjamin David Murphy as a result of intentional torture as well as neglect of medically necessary services. Both suspects are now in jail. An arraignment for the case is scheduled later today at 1:30 p.m. We will bring you the latest information coming up on our evening newscasts. In the meantime, new at noon, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield, along with Multnomah County DA Nathan Vasquez, unveiled a task force targeting organized crimes across the state. Rayfield says many communities don't have enough resources to tackle organized crimes like auto theft, drug cartels, and sex trafficking, and many of them face different challenges. So they propose to create 4 regional teams of special agents to assist with the effort.
Each community is going to have different challenges and different issues that they want to face, and they're going to need to do it in different ways.
Criminal organizations they don't stop at county lines or city lines. They do kind of operate throughout the region, sometimes throughout the state. And this is an effort that is really looking at how do we come together and help build public safety throughout the state of Oregon.
Rayfield says that they plan to present the proposal to Oregon legislatures next week. And we are following what authorities are calling a terrifying crime in Portland, where a man hopped fences and balconies and then attacked a woman in her bed. Alma McCarty has the details after speaking with police and neighbors.
It's beautiful. There's school, there's parks and everything. And just bad things happen.
And neighbors in this Southeast Portland community not far from Reed College say they've dealt with some thefts and break-ins, though nothing like this.
Unfortunately, I'm not surprised.
Portland police first responded around 11:30 Tuesday night to Southeast 30th and Schiller to at least 3 reports of a man climbing fences and scaling balconies in the area, though Sergeant Kevin Allen says they couldn't find him.
Unfortunately, about 4:50, we got the call that somebody was reporting that this suspect had broken into an apartment and assaulted a woman who was sleeping inside.
Officers say they believe the suspect broke into a ground floor unit through a locked sliding door.
She felt like, she was in a safe environment. And just unfortunately, this is one of those really terrible scenarios where somebody took advantage of that safety and victimized her.
The victim's roommate, authorities say, chased the attacker out, calling 911. Police arresting the suspect, 39-year-old Michael Lynn Moore Jr., shortly after. Moore now faces sexual assault and burglary charges, in addition to an unrelated trespassing charge.
We're going to work with our partners at the district attorney's office to make sure that he is convicted and faces accountability for this.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
An arraignment in this case is scheduled for 2 p.m. this afternoon. Portland police are encouraging extra locks and alarms to prevent anyone opening it from the outside. And an update on the mother and her 3 children found dead in their Cornelius home. We now know their names. The mother was 37-year-old Hong Fuang Lei, and here are the names of the children on your screen. They were just 2, 5, and 7 years old. The Forest Grove School District says the 2 oldest children were students at Cornelius Elementary School, which sits just blocks away from the family home on North 15th Avenue. Some have dropped off flowers and stuffed animals at the home.
I saw the kids a few times when they would go to school and when the mom would pick them up. Sometimes they'd be playing around here, just a normal family.
The sheriff's office has not yet released how the family died. Before we get to Rod, we are taking a live look from our Wells Fargo Skycam. The weather is staying pretty nice the past few days, but things could shift here apparently.
Yeah, they are going to shift. We start with where the rain is. Just a moment ago, there were a lot of raindrops on this lens. You can see it's certainly cloudy where rain has begun along the coast. This is our view from Lincoln City, our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera, reporting rain in the area and 57 degrees. So China just showed you it's partly cloudy over downtown. It still looks like the rain will be starting to move into the valley somewhere, give or take, right around the 2 o'clock hour. You can see the rain now up and down much of the coast and starting to push into the coast range. So it will be coming in from the west. So here's the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. And if you look off to the west, it certainly looks like, yeah, that's where the dark clouds are going to come from. But overall, here in the valley, it's pretty nice at noon as expected. Here's a mix of some clouds and some blue sky from Willamette Valley Vineyards just south of Salem. Portland 66. We'll keep warming until the rain begins. So weather models say we get up to 68, 66 right now, raining at 4 o'clock, no question, 59. And then this evening, quickly becoming mainly dry with a shower chance and 55. Your complete forecast, of course, is coming up.
Thank you, Rod. We have some new videos of that small plane skidding off the runway and into the Coos Bay early Monday morning. Southwest Oregon Regional Airport shared these videos showing the damage after crews lifted the plane out of the water. All 4 passengers and 1 pilot on board are now out of the hospital. The NTSB is still working to determine the cause. And developing in a cyber attack at the Oregon Department of Environmental Quality. The agency now says that their networks will be down and vehicles inspection sites will be closed both today and tomorrow. At this point, it's not clear what, if any, data has been compromised. Yesterday, a spokesperson for the DEQ said that they shut down the networks to isolate their services until, quote, the attack is totally contained and potentially eradicated. One day after historic relief on the stock market, a steep sell-off resumed today on Wall Street. President Donald Trump clarified today that he had raised tariffs on Chinese goods by a total of 145% since taking office. At afternoon trading, the S&P sold off 2.9%, the Nasdaq slid 3.7%, and the Dow Jones dropped about 2.2%. And to tariffs, the local impacts, some Portland toy retailers tell us that they are already feeling the effects of those massive tariffs for China. The owner of Mercy Milo on East Broadway in Portland told us that nearly 25% of their inventory comes from China, and she's had 6 vendors cancel deliveries because manufacturers are choosing to sell directly to consumers to save money.
As a small business, that hurts us and it hurts the consumer and it hurts our lovely families that shop with us, and we don't want that for them.
Another shop, Rogue Toys on Southeast 82nd Avenue, is considering canceling overseas products. A full container of new toys worth $20,000 from China could cost them an additional $25,000 with the tariff increases. Now to another terrifying dog mauling story in Portland. Last week we told you about a 68-year-old FedEx worker who says that she was mauled by a dog that appeared to be owned by a homeless woman. And now we're learning about another attack last December in the same area. Daisy Caballero has this story.
Right now, we're near the corner of MLK and Knott Street, where I'm told a nearly 80-year-old man says that he was mauled by a homeless person's dog back in December, nearly 10 blocks away from the mauling incident we told you about last week.
When you see the pictures of what happened, just like Mrs. Johnson's leg, a child would not survive that.
Another Portland family is speaking out after their 78-year-old dad was mauled by a dog, causing severe injury to his left arm.
When my brother sent the photo, I said that wasn't a dog mauling. That looks like a mountain lion. I mean, a mountain cat. It was just horrible.
Elizabeth Iverson says her dad Roland was on his daily morning walk back on December 2nd, taking the same route he's walked for over 40 years. When
Homeless people had their dog on a leash, but the dog jumped up on my dad and the other dog came from behind him and grabbed his arm and pulled him down.
She says Roland was then left on the ground bleeding while the dog owners ran away and into these RV trailers without calling for medical help.
Bystander, she was driving by, she saw what happened, and she took the jacket off and saw the size of the wound and said, we need to take you to the hospital immediately.
That bystander dropped him off at the hospital and he got 28 stitches. And according to Elizabeth, that dog and its owner were never caught.
Animal control, the police reached out to them. They came the next morning. And unfortunately, because the other homeless people gave insight to her that they knew about that animal control was coming, she took her Rottweiler dog and they took off.
KGW reached out to Multnomah County Animal Services for an interview and clarification on this incident, but didn't hear back in time. And while the family is thankful for their dad's full recovery, this has affected his desire to walk in his own neighborhood.
And there needs to be a balance, right, of people living together. But when one people group overtakes the injuries or the safety and the security of innocent people who are just walking or walking to work, that gets infuriating, actually, Daisy.
That was Daisy Caballero reporting. Elizabeth says that their father has some memory issues, so he doesn't recall the name of the woman who took him to the hospital, but the family would like to find out who that was and thank her for what she did.